Hi, everybody. Welcome to Social Friday Live with Sew in Common, where we make beautiful patchwork with the hoop of our embroidery machine. Hi, everybody. I'm Diana. Welcome, and thanks so much for joining me today on this beautiful Friday. At least it's beautiful here where I am at in Illinois. I've got a window here. I've got sun streaming in. It's been a gorgeous day. This morning when I went for my run, it was beautiful. It was right at that sweet spot in temperature for running, for me anyway. Was about 42 degrees. That's just cool enough, just warm enough that I don't have to put on a lot of layers because, you get warm while you run. So it was a beautiful, beautiful morning. And it's been a gorgeous day. It's a little cooler today overall. We have been, though, up in the 60s this week. And tonight, they're saying now we might get a little wee bit of snow. And then next week, we're going to be in the 70s. It's the craziest winter I've ever seen in Illinois. And I've lived here, except for several decades where I lived out on the West Coast in Seattle. This has just been a crazy weather winter. I mean, it's kind of been the year with no winter. We had 1 week where it got really cold for like 2 days, and we had 2 days of snow, and then it went away. But it's a beautiful day today, and that's all that really matters. And I am thrilled that all of you can be with me today. So why don't you take a moment and start checking in? Let us know who you are and where you're from. Let us know what the weather's like where you are. Are you having a beautiful day today? I know that my friends out in Utah, I think, are having snow today. Either today or yesterday, they had snow, a lot of snow. And can I say I'm jealous? I love the snow so much, so I miss it. But I wish them all the best, and I hope they all get to enjoy it. I've got a lot to share with you guys today, lots of fun stuff to share, because Social Friday Live is our weekend review and all that's new. So someone sent me a little chicken. I'll tell you all about the little chicken in a little while. It was very kind. It came with something that I ordered, which is our product review this week. And this week's product review is going to kind of bleed over a little bit into Sunday's Quilt Lab. We'll talk more about that. So please go ahead. Don't be shy. Sign in. Let us know where you're at, so I know that I'm not talking to myself, right? Don't want to talk to myself. I do that enough all day long, right? Telling myself, oh, you messed up this, or you did that. So while folks are coming in, why don't we go ahead and start our review of the week? Okay, so we start our review with last Sunday. As most of you know, Sunday is Quilt Lab, and last Sunday we worked on a variation of this month's block. This month's block has been the diamond in a cross. Let me see, can I get that so it's straight for you guys? There we go. Diamond in a cross block. And then our project block is the same one with some different variation on where you put color, which is mine is coming along. You'll see more of that on Sunday. But what we wanted to do, or what we did last week, is talk about the block that inspired this block, and that was the card trick block. This is an original card trick block. I think it's supposed to represent like the 4 suits of cards: hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades. Is that the other one? I haven't played cards in a long time, so I'm a little forgetful on what that's about, but I think that was it. But this is the card trick. I showed you how to do this if you own our Build a Quilt Basics block set 1, and I showed you how to do this if you only have this month's pattern, which comes in 3 sizes, still available over on the website. And of course, you will have gotten it if you are a Quilt Lab subscriber. So we highly recommend that you subscribe to Quilt Lab. You're going to be saving a lot of money over the year, and you get a lot of fun extras. And next month, being the last month of the first quarter, all of you that have subscribed to Quilt Lab are going to get a bonus pattern that isn't going to be out for anyone else this year. So that's coming. So that was Quilt Lab last week. And I know one of our subscribers had talked to me and asked me about the card trick just like a couple days before, and I thought, oh, you're going to love it because we're doing that block on Sunday. Then we can move on to Wednesday's workshop. Wednesday workshop. I always love Wednesday workshop personally. Oh, boy, that looks crooked on there. There we go. I think my camera might be goofy, but that is our block from Wednesday workshop, the churn dash block. So you can rewatch or watch that video if you haven't caught it yet, because we talked about variations for this block and a little project that you can do that uses two variations, the original layout and another variation of it. So you can check that out. And for this one, you needed to have the basic block set 1 and 2 because you need the half square triangle, the split rail, and the square. And these two come in set 1, and this one comes in set 2 to do the churn dash. So that is an old favorite. It's a block from the 1800s, and people really love it. It represents, of course, the butter churn. The churn, and then the dash is the paddle, basically, that goes up and down. And like I said on Wednesday, if you've never made your own homemade butter, it's super simple to do with a hand mixer or like your stand mixers. And you use heavy cream and basically whip as we would say, whip the snot out of it. I think over my friends in the UK, you would call it double cream. I think that's the same thing as our heavy cream. And you can make some yummy homemade butter and look like a real star amongst your family and friends. So that was Wednesday workshop. Hi, folks. Welcome in. I see some folks heading in. Please let us know who you are and where you're from. We want to say hello to you. Okay. So then part of what we also do during the week, we started doing, is the Riley Blake block challenge. I'm taking those blocks, turning them into the Build-A-Quilt system. It's completely free to you guys to download the Build-A-Quilt system so that you can do them with your embroidery hoop. And they're all hanging right here. So let's talk. We've done 4. Next week, we're doing 5 and 6, and the week after that, 7 and 8. And then the week after that, we'll be caught up and we'll be doing 1 block at a time. But let's look up here. That was block from week 1. It is the Vintage Delight. And that one was by Lori Holt. Isn't it pretty? I really like that block. The second one here is by Beverly McCullough called Sparkle and Shine, I think is what this one is called. And yes, it's the different size, but if you watch the video, you'll know why that's a different size. You get the correct size. All these blocks finish at 10 by 10. And then week 3 was by Amy Smart, the Dalesford block. Oh, I love that block because it's basically an inspired star with a fun little pinwheel center. Love that. And then week 4 right here is from Fran Gullick. And it is called the Frame Star. And we changed it just a little bit. It's the exact same block, but we simplified it for Build-A-Quilt. In the original block, all of these pieces on the outer edge are modified half square triangles. But if you put those two modifieds together, what I did for us, if you want to look right here, is it's basically a flying geese unit. So what I did was I created this piece right here. Let's see, can I move this in a little further? There we go. It's this piece right here, and I'm just calling it a modified flying geese unit. It's brand new. We've never done that as a segment piece yet in Build-A-Quilt, but I will let you know that in the new modified half square triangle set that's coming in about a month, you're going to get this in a few sizes as a bonus to that set. So when you buy that set, you're going to get it as a bonus. And I'm going to tell you how to get that as a bonus later in the video, because there's going to be a special way you can get that set as a bonus. And what it does for Fran's block, it takes out 4 seams, which we always love to take out seams because that takes out bulk, and really turned out nicely with it as a modified flying geese unit. So I'll tell you how to get that as your bonus here in a little bit. All righty. So, and then this week in the Dalesford, we'll just take this one down and show it. we haven't done much with the flying geese units. The flying geese units are available in our basic block set too, but the flying geese unit is part of the Dalesford, this block here. It's the 4 pole positions. And so you're going to be creating a flying geese unit if you've never created it before. There is a video to show you how to create this on this week's Riley Blake Block Challenge video, which comes out Thursdays at 4 p.m. So if you haven't seen that yet, check that one out. If you haven't seen any of these, you're going to want to check them out. For the churn dash, that was this week's Wednesday workshop video. The card trick was last Sunday's quilt lab, okay? And then Thursday was Riley Blake. Now for next week, if you guys have questions, please pop them in too. For next week, we're going to be working on blocks 5 and 6 for the Riley Blake block challenge. Block 5 is called Dazzle by Christy Lee. And that's it. You can see it right there. This is a really easy block, half square triangles and squares. Nothing difficult about that. But we're going to be putting it together a little bit differently. We're not going to be doing rows. Normally we do things in rows. We're not going to do that with this one. We're going to do something a little different with this one to give us less seams overall and to make the whole idea a little bit easier to put together. And then it's great that these turned out this way for blocks 5 and 6, because this is block 6, Bloom Where You're Planted. Now, I created a block very similar to this a couple of years ago, and mine didn't have the leaves on here. And so this block is going to be all new in the piecing. It's still pieced in a similar way as we've been piecing everything else, but we haven't really done these shapes before. So this is going to be all new for everybody. And this one's actually taking me a little bit of time to get the digitizing right on it, but we'll have that. So these two are coming next Thursday. And are you keeping up, guys, on getting your Riley Blake patterns? You know, you download these pattern sheets from their website. And then when you download the Build-A-Quilt block sets, which are free, none of this from the challenge is going to cost you anything from the free. This is the Frame Star by Fran Gullick. You get that whole set with your digital files in it. So you get every Tuesday, Riley Blake puts out their new pattern, and then every Thursday we do the patterns in the Build-A-Quilt version. So I hope everybody's keeping up with that. It's a fun one to do. I've been enjoying it. I've really loved it. I really love this one by Fran Gullick, this Frame Star. We talk all about that, of course, in the video, so I'm not going to go over it. This was just the review for that. So that was our review of the week. We were pretty busy this week because the day I digitized those two, we had a major power outage in our area. And even though I consistently save as I go, when everything went down, it went down hard, and I lost all of my work. For some reason, it glitched and got rid of everything I was doing. And so Tuesday was not a good day for me. It was very frustrating. Like 6 hours of work went down the hill. That's all right. That happens, right? It happens. Okay. So are you guys ready for the product review? This week's product review is going to go into Sunday's Quilt Lab, because Sunday's Quilt Lab is going to be about finish quilting, but we're actually going to be testing this product. I want to show you the product. I want to give you some of my ideas about it so far, but I'm not going to give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down on it overall, because we're going to do some testing on it Sunday. I don't think it should get a thumbs down anyway, because I think there are 2 really good reasons to use this product, and a lot of stuff that is said about this product in their information that isn't quite what it should be, but we're gonna test all of that and see first. So how many of you, let me know if you've heard of birdie bird batting. Now, this company, from what I know, it's owned by a lady named Joan Bishop and either her son or her husband. I'm not sure because there's another guy's name along with her. But I just saw this. The company's been around since 2019, I guess. I just saw this about a week and a half ago in social media. And I don't tend to just up and buy things off social media, but when I saw it, I thought, this could be a cool idea. So let me show you, and then I'll show you why I thought it could be a cool idea. This is the Birdie Bird batting. This is 1 yard of it because it's like 90 some inches wide. So I bought 1 yard of it for testing purposes. And it has the idea of it is that you don't have to do any basting. And I take a little exception to that, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But what it is, it's an all cotton batting. And I will tell you, the quality of this cotton batting is very, very, very nice. It is probably, I would say, right on par with the good quality cotton battings that I use in other quilts. That's just the batting. But what she has done is she has added a layer of 100% cotton flannel onto it. And this flannel is what's supposed to keep you from needing basting. Now, I'll tell you why I thought this was a little bit genius. And that is because, have any of you ever gone to Sunday school or vacation Bible school when you were kids and the teacher had a board covered in flannel and she'd throw up character pictures like from the story that she was telling, the Bible story, or from a mission story or something? She'd throw pictures up there. And it was a great way to tell a story. It really kept the kids engaged in what you were talking about. In fact, my mother was a Sunday school teacher, and she used to teach flannel graph, which is what it was called, for her lessons. So in school, in high school once, I needed to give a demonstration, not a demonstration, but a speech in a class. And I created my own flannel graph for it. I cut out things from magazines and all that went with my subject, and I would put them up there. And my teacher told me in the end, one of the reasons I got an A on that presentation was because she thought it was genius that I'd used the flannel graph. So yay, yay me, right? One of the good things I did in school. So when I saw this, I thought, well, yeah, you can stick stuff on flannel and it's not going anywhere. So the one side with the flannel is the side that goes against the back of your batting, not your top. So this batting is facing up for you to put your top on, and this flannel goes against the backing fabric. And so the backing and the batting piece doesn't move around. But then she doesn't have you put any kind of basting between your top and your batting, the cotton batting. And that I take great exception with. Please, from over 55 years of experience, I'm going to tell you, your top will always slip a little bit when you're quilting. Regardless of the quilting technique that you use, it's going to slip a little. So please use a spray base, use something to base that top onto here. Now, when she did her demonstration, she has a huge table. She does free motion, but it's all laid out really flat. She's very careful not to get it messed up. I'm sorry, I don't know many quilters that don't get things like folded and stuff like that, which is part of what causes the shifting and the slipping. So she made it look super easy and perfect, but that was done so that we could see it that way. The bigger the quilt, the more slippage you're going to get with this if you don't do some sort of basting on top. So for that, I take a little exception just over my years of experience. Now, this lady seems wonderful. She's very genuine. She's been quilting about 15 years, she says. That's great. But that scenario is one thing I do take exception with. The other thing that she says in her literature is that you get no distortion with this batting flannel combo for hanging quilts. That has to be incorrect because every quilt, regardless of your batting, will distort over time. And that's caused by gravity, not by the product, but by gravity. So that happens to every quilt. The longer it hangs, it will start to distort. And if you make a heavy quilt, it's going to distort quicker. This is heavy, okay? Because it's got not only cotton batting is one of the warmest battings we can use. A lot of people think that's wool. Not necessarily. Wool is really breathable. Cotton holds the heat in, so it's warmer, which is nice if you're making a warm quilt, right? But with the cotton and then the flannel over it, you are going to get a much heavier quilt. Is that bad? No, of course not. There are lots of times you want to make a heavier, warmer quilt. If I grew up in a farmhouse where the downstairs was like the kitchen, the bathroom, the living room and dining room, and the upstairs were the bedrooms. And so the upstairs where the bedrooms were got no heat except what came up through these open registers in the floor. So basically in the winter, if it was 36 outside, it was about 38 inside. It was not much warmer upstairs. So I love sleeping in a cold room, but I love having a really warm quilt on top of me. This would be perfect for a quilt like that. But I wouldn't make this, I probably wouldn't use this for a baby quilt. I probably wouldn't use this for a big decorative bed quilt that you take on and off every night, because I feel like you'd be wasting your money using this beautiful heavy combination on something that isn't going to get the right kind of use. But the distortion thing, back to that, this will distort only because it's heavier and gravity is going to pull on it quicker. It's not going to distort probably in a week or a month. If you switch out your quilts really regularly, you might never notice it. I put a quilt on the wall and it hangs there for a year, and I get quilt distortion. But because of gravity, it's not because of her product, it's because of gravity, and it happens to every quilt. So the idea that you don't get quilt distortion, you get quilt distortion anytime you hang a large quilt. Now, would I use this for smaller quilts? Well, we're going to find out how this quilts up on Sunday at Quilt Lab. For smaller projects, again, I think it's kind of a waste of this really good combination. However, I was thinking about it and I said, well, let's take the idea that it's wasteful and turn it into something positive and value oriented. So if I have a layer of flannel and a layer of cotton batting on a table topper, and I want to put not burning hot pans, because for that, I would not put that on my table, even with like an Insulbright, that kind that has the reflective material in it. But I do like to put warm things on the table, and even warm things can cause problems with your tabletop if you don't cover it, right? Am I right, you guys? Let me know if you think I'm nuts or not. Let me know. I want to see those comments. But if you used this, you are getting that extra layer of protection with the flannel. And so I think it could be good for table toppers if you want to put warm dishes on your table. I think it would give you the right amount of protection for that. And the piece I'm going to quilt with this on Sunday is going to be a table topper. So I'm going to be able to test that too. Isn't that great? So, you know, she has one thing really right here about the idea, this idea, in that the one thing we've always done in quilting to make quilts warmer is to add a layer of flannel. In fact, some quilts, way back when I was still hand piecing and hand quilting with my grandmother, sometimes we only used 1 or 2 layers of flannel. That was all we used for batting. If we couldn't get batting, that's what we used. And those quilts were very warm. So again, this is going to be a really warm quilt. That's good. Again, I think for smaller projects like a table topper where you want some protection, that's good. I'm a little bit concerned about getting some bunching on this because of these 2 layers here, but we'll see about that on Sunday. I'm not judging it because I don't know. I haven't done it yet. We're going to see together if we get bunching with this in Quilt Lab on Sunday. Now, there's something that you do need to know on here. She says you can tie with this. So if you like to tie quilts, you can do that. She also says that not to pre-wash your backing fabric. and not to wash this. Well, I've never washed batting in my life until it's been in a quilt, and then I just tub bath it and dry it. But because once this is quilted and it gets washed, you're going to get 3 to 5% shrinkage. Okay. And that's going to give you that lovely old timey quilted puckered look, which I think makes the most beautiful quilts in the world. I love that look. That's why I don't do a lot of micro quilting. I love it. If you don't like that look, you should know in advance you're going to get shrinkage with this and you're going to get that look. So that in that respect, this might end up not being for you at all. Okay. Alrighty. So I think I see that I've got comments coming through, but I'm not seeing them on here. I'm sorry, guys, if I'm not seeing them, but I will look after for sure if they don't start showing up. Because I see in one place I'm getting them, but I'm not seeing them come up on my screen. So I apologize for that. So you will get shrinkage on this. So those are the things they tell me. Now, this is how it's put together. I'm going to kind of hold it up so you can see it. She's got the batting on here, and it's just got straight stitch sewing it looks like maybe it's well, let me just measure it because I don't think it's every foot. I think, oh, maybe it is nope, it's about every 11 inches. There is a straight stitch sewing on here. Okay, that's how this is put together. So here at the edge, I can stick my hand down in here. That concerns me because I feel like over time, you're going to get, if you are someone who likes to quilt looser, bigger quilting, not smaller or micro quilting, I feel like you're going to get bubbling from that. We'll see. I don't know, but we'll see. That's a concern. But I will say that the quality of the materials is really, really excellent. I think, so she calls herself the Queen of Batting. I don't know where that comes from. Maybe that's a nickname somebody gave her. She seems to make out the idea that this is your one and done batting stop. You get this and that's all you need. But really, and we'll start talking about this more, say in Quilt Lab, there are lots of battings available and they're all good for a reason. There is no one-stop batting. If you saw my batting bucket over here, I've got like 6 kinds of batting. I've got 100% silk batting. I've got, which I use for crazy quilting. Interestingly enough, I've got 100% cotton. I've got 100% wool. I've got 100% bamboo. I've got a poly cotton. I use poly cotton for my linens and stuff because those aren't being used for warmth. They're getting washed more often. So that's when I use those. So there's really not, in my opinion, after all the years of quilting I've done, not a one-stop shop for batting. So that's why I'm not going to say that this is a bad product, because I don't think it is. I think it definitely has a couple of really good uses for it. And so why not have it in your system? However, when you go to their website, I think this 1 yard I was able to buy for $25. That's not too bad because this is really, I mean, it's really wide. It's like 97 inches wide. So I've got a lot of it. I can do several toppers and stuff with this. However, when I looked over at a place called createandcraft.com, so on her website, I believe, let me take a look here. Yeah, her twin size batting is $55. And her queen size at her website is $75. At Create and Craft, it's like $103 and $129 or something. That's obscenely expensive for batting, even really good quality batting. I've never paid that much for batting. Let me double check myself. I don't want to lie. I haven't even paid that for the silk batting that I've purchased. Maybe close, but not that much. So it's really expensive. So if you're going to buy it, I would suggest, if you know, after we've tested it and all, to go to her website, because it seems to me it's the least expensive there. Now, I know the one shop where I get some of my fabric, which is about 2 hours from my house, they actually started carrying it, and I didn't know that. However, they're trying to get rid of it now, so they have it at a much lower price. So, you know, that's an option too. I don't know what they really have available, but that would be an option if you wanted it. But so that is, what's it called? Birdie bird batting. Okay. So again, not a one-stop shop for batting, but that's okay. Let me set this over here. I don't want to get it dirty because I will show you. It comes wrapped up in this band with the sticker on it. And then you also get their business card. And that is where my little chicken came from. And the little eyes of the chicken are pins. Now, you guys know I love chickens, right? Because when we did, let me grab it over here. When we did our little Wednesday workshop runner, I had that chicken fabric, which I loved. Super cute. I love it. But look, the chicken is made out of puppy fabric. Isn't it cute? Oh my goodness. It's so adorable. But she sent that, and she sent a really kind note. She said, hope you enjoy your birdie pin cushion. Smiley face, Jean. That's very kind. Thank you, Jean. I will enjoy it. I love it. I think it's super cute. In fact, I'm going to keep this at my cutting table because, you know, I like to use my little glass head pins for pinning segments together and stuff before I sew them. So I think I'm going to use that because I only keep a couple in there and it'll be cute. Should we name the chicken? I don't know what. Should we name the chicken like some puppy name since he's made out of puppy fabrics? I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comments if we should name the chicken. But it was very kind of her to send it. It was very sweet. Like I said, I think from what I see, she's been around since 2019. And that's just my comments so far. Sunday, I'm going to be quilting up. I think I'm going to do this topper. This one here. Because I need something on my table for spring now that it's already in the 70s and we're still in the winter time in Illinois. It's crazy. But I think I'm going to do that one. And so we will see how all that goes. Then we'll see together. Do you get bunching with it? How does it, is it thick for your needle? Do we need to choose a different size needle? I did go and watch one quilter's review of this. Just a little bit. And one thing she said was that her machine struggled with it a little bit. Now, she was doing a traditional free motion quilting. I'm going to be quilting it with my embroidery machine. And we'll see if that causes a problem. If you decide to use this and if you're still not doing your own quilting, why not? Why not do your own quilting? You have an embroidery machine. You can be doing the most beautiful quilting ever. Come on, you guys know that. But if you take your quilts to a long armor, check with them first. Let them know what this is, how it works, all that kind of stuff, okay? Birdie bird quilting or birdie bird batting. That's what we're going to be checking out on Sunday. Is that every? Oh, I still have more. I still have more. Okay, a couple of years ago, I created a traditional quilting pattern because I was still in the process of designing to build a quilt system for St. Patrick's Day, my Lucky Charm table runner. And this was my charity piece, my charity pattern for giving, my giving pattern for that year. We gave a lot of money to a food bank that year because of the selling of this pattern. But this is traditional quilting, okay, or piecing. So this year, I'm creating this block with the Build-A-Quilt system. So you're going to be able to get this block with the Build-A-Quilt system, and there will be a project. The whole package will be done and together, and it will be out in just maybe a week or so. I know we're getting close to St. Patrick's Day. Gosh, I can't remember anything today. I know we're getting close to St. Patrick's Day. So I'm going to try and get it out for you quickly. It'll be, the blocks and all will be one size. and the pattern will be available in just a couple of weeks, and I'll show that to you. It's probably something that I'll show during either a Wednesday workshop or a quilt lab, but it'll be available to everybody, and it will have the designs in it. You won't need the basic set because you'll be getting a segment that looks like this for the stem, and these are just a little bit different to make the shamrock. So that's coming very quickly. Is that all I have to show you now? Okay. So a while ago, I told you guys that we are less than a month away now from our modified half square triangle set. It's going to be a huge set. I had the hardest time, you guys, deciding on what I should put in this set. So in the end, I said, hang it all. Just do all of them. This is a huge set. But you are going to have so much functionality with it, so many ways you can treat it with your other blocks. If you have the basic sets, it's going to go with those completely. And if you want to get this free set, so this will come in either 3 or 4 sizes. I can't remember now. It is the modified flying geese unit that we talked about earlier. It is a free bonus with that set for pre-orders of the set, because we're going to be doing pre-orders for this set. And the pre-order information will come out next week, okay? So that you have time to pre-order. And everybody who pre-orders will get sent this set for the modified flying geese units for free. That'll be your bonus. So more of that information coming. I'll talk about it more Sunday at Quilt Lab, but it's coming. And like I said, this is a huge set. I will tell you, there's more than 4 blocks in sizes coming, because I just couldn't make up my mind. And I thought, well, why end up doing 2 sets? Let's just do a whole big set for everybody and have all of them and be done with that. Because really, we're getting to the point where we're going to be doing more quilt sets and less basic sets, because we've got a lot of the basics done. Now, we're still working on how we're going to do borders and things like that. That's still coming as well, but not yet. I am checking my phone because I keep seeing that I have questions and I feel like I'm missing them because my computer or something is going goofy. So I'm looking on my phone here to see if I can see what's going on here. Because if there is a question I can answer for you now, I want to do that, right? Now my phone is goofy. All right, well, I will look in the comments after we're done, everybody, and then we'll finish those up. I'll finish up those questions for you and answer those. So check out the videos from this week. I know a lot of you have already picked up your free patterns from the Riley Blake Challenge this week. And I know that several of you have been doing the block for this month. I'm working on the block for next month. You guys are going to freak out. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh. It's one of those blocks in the big size. One and done. Yeah, one and done. Because you're going to get 3 of the regular sizes, and I'm giving you even a bonus size. So again, subscribe to the Quilt Lab. Everybody will get the bonus size, but with Quilt Lab next month, you're also getting your first free quarterly bonus pattern. So let's see. Do I have a... Okay, I don't have that. Alrighty. I thought I had a thing telling you about that. But when you go to the website, the subscription for the Quilt Lab stuff is right there. It tells you all about it. You get also a free Zoom with me. We do a free group Zoom. Our first one is next week. So next week, I will be sending out the invites to the subscribers for that. I didn't want to send it out early so you wouldn't miss it. Okay, everybody, since I can't see your questions, I apologize, but I will go look at them as soon as we're done, and then I'll answer those questions. But Sunday, there will be more information on your pre-orders for the modified half square triangle set, and you'll be getting your bonus set, okay? Because I'm not sure that there's a lot of different ones you can do with this. I don't want to do a whole set of these modified flying geese units, but I want you to have this one in sizes because it really made a difference in making that particular block. And I think we can use it in other blocks as well. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much. Oh, I have pictures of some stuff you guys have sent me for Sunday too. So you're going to want to be back and check out the video on Sunday for Quilt Lab because we have pictures. And if you want to put your pictures out so that we can share them or so that I can see them. If you just want me to see them, send them to me at support@sewuncommon.com and then I'll share them. Unless you tell me don't share, then I won't. But please let me share because you guys do beautiful work. But you can post your pictures at Facebook, okay? At our Facebook group, Sew in Common. Very easy to do. And then I'll share them with everybody so that everybody gets to see all the beautiful quilting that's going on, which I know is. And if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so. You can just see by just this 1 week in review all the different things that we did and all the fun that we're doing here at Sew in Common. And this whole Riley Blake block challenge, this only came about because you guys asked for it. A group of you that stitched together sent me a letter and said, would you be willing to do it? And I said, yes, I would. And so that's how that came about. So subscribe. We'd love to have you as part of the channel. Please like and share the video or any of our videos that you watch so others can see them. To get your patterns and all of that, you can check out our website, www.sewuncommon.com. That's where the free patterns are. That's where our block basic sets reside as well for you to purchase. And that's also where you will pre-order, but more information on that coming. Until next time, everybody, thanks for joining me for Sewcial Friday Live. I love being with you all. And until next time, sew life beautiful. Bye for now. Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.